Welcome back to the Riverstead, y'all. Today we're going to cook some birria tacos. I believe that's how you say it. We're going to use what I consider a very underrated and underutilized cut of deer meat today. Anybody guess what these are? It's deer neck, debone neck roast. One of the best pieces on a deer, as far as I'm concerned, for slow cooking. It gets very tender and probably more beef-like than most things. Anyhow, this came off a big buck that wife killed last year. Maybe she can put a picture of it up or something. Anyhow, we're going to take this and we're going to start slicing it. Oh, about an inch thick, I guess. Something like that. Just break it down a little bit. Probably should have sharpened my knife. Thanks to my buddy Dave for this brand new nice cutting board I got. Anyhow, you see all this connective tissue and stuff in here, don't worry about that. The way we're going to slow cook this down and braise it for several hours, that stuff's just going to go away and be silky smooth. Anyhow, you got your meat cut up. I just made a little mix of stuff: salt, pepper, garlic, chili powder, paprika, and cumin. Salt, I think. Might have said that already. Anyhow, season this up real good. Both sides. This needs a lot of seasoning. I mean, this is a lot of meat we're cooking, so don't think you're overdoing it. Anyhow, you get your stuff seasoned up. I got some lard heating up in my skillet over here. We're just going to start browning this meat up. Got the lard hot. You could use beef fat too, would be great. But we have a lot of wild pig lard on hand that we rendered down. So, get that going good in there. Good hot skillet. We're just browning. We're not worried about cooking it through right now. Now we're going to move on to making our sauce. So, what we start off with are these guajillo chilies. They're dried peppers. You can get them in all the grocery stores now. Take these out, de-stem them, de-seed them, and we've cooked them, simmered them in beef broth for about 15 minutes. So, after you do that, they're rehydrated and they've tendered up. So you'll pull these out and see how nice and soft they are. Put these in your blender. Go put just a little bit of that beef broth in there with them. And then we're going to add a jar of crushed tomatoes, or I'm using Rotel on this, with some jalapenos in it. And I also like to add in a few chipotles and adobo sauce. You got to watch these. They can get away from you if you put a few too many in. So be careful with them. They'll get pretty hot. But I really like that smoked flavor it adds. And you could put this meat on the grill for the first little while if you want to add some flavor too. So we got that in there. Now we're just going to blend this up. I just put it on liquefy for however long it takes. While that's going, we'll flip our meat. Getting some color on that, that's what we're looking for. All right, we got that blended up. We're going to wait until this meat finishes cooking, then we're going to add this. We'll catch back up in a minute. All right, y'all, we got our meat all browned up, pretty on both sides. Now we're going to add in our cooking liquid. This is that guajillo chilies and rotel and beef broth. Add that all in. That's just right. You can add the rest of your beef broth in there. I did that at the end. You can cook this however. You can do it stovetop, pellet smoker, grill, whatever. I'm fixing to throw it in a 250 to 60 degree oven for about 3 hours. Just go cook it down. When they come out, we're gonna make some tacos. All right, y'all. Got our meat out of the oven. Had to put it in a pot. My skillet wasn't holding enough. I cooked it at 250 degrees for 4 hours. Told you 3 earlier, but it took a little longer. And this is what it looks like when it's done. Man, it's just fall apart tender. So, I'm gonna take this out. Take these chunks out. Get it over here and shred it up a little bit. And I'm telling you, if you don't think that's tender, man, look at that. Who would have thought a deer neck could get that tender right there? Very good cut of meat. Anyhow, we'll get us enough right there. Then we're headed to the griddle. Anyhow. All right, y'all, got our griddle fired up. You can do this in a skillet or whatever you want to. You can see on the top of this meat right here, that lard we cooked them in and whatever cooked out of the deer, got a good old little skim of fat on top. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna dip these tortillas in that fat like that. And then throw them on that hot griddle. Then we're going to hit them with our cheese. I got a mix of pepper jack and Colby jack. Don't skimp with the cheese on these. We got some Colby jack in the mix because I ran out of pepper jack for some reason. And that's no bueno. All right. Got that on there. Then we'll go add our deer neck to it. And you talking about some flavor in this. Between those guajillos and those chipotles, it's something. Whole house smelled delicious. Get all your meat on there. Let's flip them over. And I guarantee you, I filled them up plenty. And that's the color you're looking for right there. Look how that lard crisps them tortillas up. And I mean, it's that quick at this point. Uh-oh. That one kind of stuck a little bit for some reason. And that one opened back up. Anyhow, I mean, they're brown and done. They're that brown on the same side. So what I like to do is put them on a wire rack. If you put these directly on your plate or your cutting board, they're going to get soggy on the bottom. And you don't want that. Might give that a little flip over. Add a little more oil to him. He needs a little extra. Anyhow, we're finna let these rest for a minute. Then we're gonna try them out. All right, y'all, they ready. Let's test them out. Listen to that. Good and crispy. So what you do, come over here and you dip some of this broth up. Nothing but flavor right there. Get one right here. Let's cut them up a little bit. Dip that down in there. Man, that's the best thing ever. Mighty larping. Y'all need to try this. Don't throw your deer necks in the grinding pile. Do them like this. Appreciate it. Like and subscribe.